there everyone, it's Kathy Champion and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Gastonia, North Carolina, and today I want to talk to you once again about the Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine. This machine is awesome. It comes in the full size as well as the mini, and I have both of them here. This mini is very compact, it's very light. I mean, you can literally hold this one with one finger. It is super light. It has all the cutting plates that the big one has. You have your cut mats, you have your base plate, and you have two specialty plates with this one. The plates do line a little different in the small one, but that's not the main reason that I wanted to come to you today. What I wanted to talk to you about today was warping plates. Now, anybody that's had any experience with the die cut machine knows that over time your plates will become worn out and you have to buy new ones. But I'm going to show you today a little bit of a trick that can keep your plates, and this has been very confusing. This was confusing for me when I first started using a die cut machine, and I'm sure that it's confusing for other people too. I watched videos and they said to turn your plates every time you use them. They would say put your plates in the oven, get them warm, or put them in hot water, get them hot, and then put something heavy on them. Well, that is not the secret. And I'm going to show you a plate, and I did this on purpose for the video. This was my first plate that came with my machine. Actually, both of these plates were the originals. Now you can see this top plate has bowed. Now I learned a long time ago how to keep this one from bowing. Now this one is cut up, and that's to be expected. Your plate that you put your cut side down on is going to get cut up like this. This is normal. What I like to do is, after a few uses, I will take a alcohol wipe and I will just wipe it down. And what this does, it gets the dye from the paper out of those cracks, and you'll see how dirty that is. And I do this probably a couple of times a month. I just like to wipe my tools down with alcohol for a couple of reasons. Sanitizes, and it just cleans everything so good. So if you don't have alcohol wipes, then you can make your own. That's what I do. Or you can just take a bottle of rubbing alcohol and wet a paper towel or one of the little microfiber towels and wipe everything down. But this is the way this looks after I clean it. And I think you can see that red that's come off on there because I've been cutting some red paper. It is Valentine's Day coming up, so of course we've been cutting red paper. Alright, I want to show you or explain to you what you need to do to keep those from happening. Now, when you're die cutting, you will always use a base plate, and you will use a this is speaking of the Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine. You have a base plate, and then you have your die cut plate. Now, the die cut plate is number 2, as you can see right there. And your base plate is number 1, so you will do a 1, a 2, and then 2 3s. And these are my 2 3s. Now, as you can see, this one is the warped baby. And I'm going to show you how you can keep that from happening. I put a new plate in, and as you can see, this one has gotten quite a bit of wear, but you can also see that it is not bowed. Look in comparison to this one. Let's see, let me turn this way. And you can see the bowing in that one. See how it rocks? This one is nice and straight. How you can keep this from happening is to do this. Your top plate, and you always want to keep one that is your top plate and one that's your bottom, and don't flip and flop those around. Now, your bottom plate only needs to get flipped up when you can press in the middle and it has a give. That's when you want to flip it, not until. And mine doesn't need flipping yet because, see, it's not there yet. Both sides need, well, that side does bow just a tiny bit. This side doesn't, so I'm going to leave it on that side. The top plate, every time you run your die through, or an embossing folder through, or anything that you run it through, automatically flip it. Flip it this way, that way, this way, always flipping it over, around, up and down. You get the picture. And this will keep this plate nice and straight. So again, you don't flip both of them, you only flip your top cut plate. And you never ever want to use your top cut plate for your bottom. And when I buy new embossing plates, what I'll do when this one gets completely worn out, I'll flop this one to my bottom and I'll put a new top plate in. This ensures nice even wear on your plates, and you're only using one new plate at a time, which makes your plates go further. And your cut plates, I mean, this is considered a consumable, because this is something, your machine is not a consumable. Once you buy that, that's an investment. It will last forever. Your dies, your stamps, those are not expendables. Your consumable items are your paper, your inks, your markers, your glue, your adhesives, all of those type of things. But your tools, like take your pick tool, your bone folder, your die machines, things like that, you don't use those up. You do have to buy parts for them, like your plates. But I wanted this to be a really quick video just to help teach you how to handle your plates and make them last the longest that you can. And like I said, only when this one will bow from the bottom up. It will get a bow up here, under here. And when you mash down on it, let me see if I can zoom you in so you can see this. See right there, there's no give on that. But if I turn it over, see that little bit of give? I don't think it's showing on camera, but I can see it when I mash it. There's a little bit of give. So the minute you see that, flip it over to where you have no give. There's no give on that plate now. And then, like I said, with this one, every time you use it, rotate it, flip it, rotate it, flip it. So you just always want to make sure you're using the opposite side, and I flip it from front to back as well, just to give myself a nice even space. And another thing that you want to do is not always cut right in the middle. If you've got a small die that you need to cut, put it down on this corner. Put it over on this corner, your top corners. These are places that don't always get as much wear and tear, so you want to make sure that you're using all of your plate. So that way when you get ready to throw this out, you have used up the entire plate to its fullest. So that is just the nature of die cut machines, and you can see that this goes through completely flat. There's no curving to it or anything. And I love that. And that comes from rotating my plate. This was one that I'd used it and I didn't rotate it because I wanted to be able to bring this video to y'all. But I had to wait till this one got really nasty and bowed to the point that it rocks. Let me show you. I'm going to sit this back over here and look at this. This plate is warped to the max. I mean, it is warped. Look at that. We could spin it. I mean, that's how warped it is. So if you don't want this to happen, just remember to flip and flip and flip and flip. Every time you run it through your machine, that top cutting plate, dedicate one for your bottom and one for your top, and that top one needs to be flipped every time you use it. If you try this technique, I promise you, your plates will last you a very, very long time, and you will be happy. Now the same thing goes for our little, I'm going to move this bad plate because that one's going to probably end up in the trash can, because it's no good. It was kind of an expensive video for me to bring to y'all. The same thing goes with this little one. Now you have, with this one, you don't have a die cut mat. You have different pads for your embossing. That's why you get 2 embossing plates. But this one the same way. This is my bottom cut plate, and see right there that there's no give in that side. There is a little give here, so that's why I'm using this side. So I will continue to use that side, and here is my top plate. In the same way with this, every time I use this and push it through, I'm going to flip and turn, twist and flip this top plate. So that way I will get the most use out of these plates as well. And when I say plates, I just mean the cutting plates. The base plate, these specialty plates, you will not need to replace these. The cut plates are the ones that will need to be replaced. This number 3 plate in the mini machine is made for your regular embossing folders, and what you will do is you'll use your number 2 plate, your number 1 plate, and then you will put your your embossing folder in and cover it with this number 3 plate. And I want to make sure I got that right. No, yeah. This plate is for your non-3D plates, your regular embossing folders. So this is a little thicker, and that's why you use this one with it. This one is thinner, so it is for the 3D or the dynamic. They used to be called dynamic. And you just lay your folder with your cardstock in it on top of your number 1 plate, and lay your number 4 plate over it, and then you crank it through like that. And it won't go through without having a folder in it because it's not thick enough. But that's exactly how that works. So remember, base plate, embossing folder, and then depending on whether you're using a regular embossing folder or a 3D, you will choose one of these 2 plates. But for your die cuts, you will always use a cut plate, which is this one, because I've got all my cuts in there to prove, and then you'll use a top plate that doesn't have the cuts. It does get some impressions in it from where it pushes it through, but this is your top plate. And what I like to do is I like to try to keep my plates as nice and even as I possibly can. So when they go through, and this one's a little bit, this one doesn't feed through quite as well as the, and I think I figured this out the other day why I didn't have them lined up perfectly. Yeah, so that now it goes through with no problem, because these plates should feed through really super easy. So I hope this little demonstration has helped anybody that's been having trouble with any of your warping plates. And when I'm talking warping, y'all, I showed y'all that one that is so bowed that I can't use it anymore. That will happen to your plates if you don't take the care to rotate your plates around. And when you do your sandwiches, it should look like this. It should look like this and not this. And if it does look like this, my suggestion, see how that is? See how bowed that is? It should not look like that. And it shouldn't look like this, where it's bowed on both sides. So if your plates are not sitting flush like this, you need to invest into new plates. If the top and bottom one both are bowed really bad, replace both of them. But if you only need to replace the top one, just remember to start turning this one around the minute that you've got any give right in the middle of it. And it starts to bow in the middle, and it will bow up. Turn it over and let that rocking side be under. And see, this one needs to go like this. So just wanted to bring that to y'all and let you know that that's how I keep my plates from bowing, and I have had extreme success with doing it that way, and I hope this will help some of you out there. If you do need any Stampin' Up supplies, please visit my website. It'll be listed in the description below. If you spend over $50, please use my host code. That will also be listed in the description below, and you will receive a free gift, $50 or more before shipping and handling. But if you spend $150 or more, do not use that host code. You will get Stampin' Rewards. Shoot me an email and let me know that you shopped with me in that dollar amount, and I will make sure that you get the stamping rewards that Stampin' Up! Will give you, but you'll also get a free gift from me as a special thank you from me to you for being such a faithful and loyal customer. So I hope this has helped. I hope that this will help your delusion of how to keep your mats from warping. This is tried and true method for me. So God bless you always. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and until we craft again, this is another one of my little tips and tricks. And be good, be safe, and above all things, be nice and kind to others. Let everything you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Until we craft again, bye-bye.